We are live. I've been gone for ages. Feels like I haven't done game dev on stream for an eternity. But I've been busy. But that's just that's how it is. Thank you, Danny. Of course, if you need to sleep, you should sleep because sleep is important. Very important for your health. Okay. So, I think the most important thing is to update on the progress that I've made since I last streamed, which is Overbite. Hello. Even Steven as well. I forgot to address everybody. First time here, welcome. Kurdus Legend also is in the chat. So the progress with that we have made. So one thing that I was realizing is that there wasn't a lot of juice when you were shooting the gun and making hits. So I'm trying to remedy that. I'm experimenting with a few things, mostly on the impact. So I don't know. It's kind of interesting because it's like you want to have an impact even if it hits. You love the weapon controller? Thank you. I'm glad it's been helpful for you. So one of the things, can you add pickup ammo? I thought that was already in there. I need to update it for 4.7 actually. Because I haven't updated it yet. I'm pretty slack with that kind of stuff. It's old. I probably need to do a rewrite. It's probably on the cards, but it takes time. So yeah, bullet impacts is basically what I've been looking at because I kind of think it's necessary for the way that the game feels. So I've been experimenting with a few different things and creating a couple of different sprites. Turn the music off because that's annoying. So previously like nothing happened, but now when you shoot, you get like a little flash and you get some particles coming out and they'll bounce in the opposite direction. And so if you go into this room where you get to fight enemies and for whatever reason you can't see the floor, make another weapon controller. Yeah. I said this before, but I'm actually getting to the point where I would have time to play with Godot. Nice. So if we come and we fight these enemies now, when we shoot them, we shoot particles into the air. And so now it's actually a lot of different particles flying around. Ow. Might be a few too many. Scratching might help more feedback. Yeah, oh, you're right. I do need to do something with the bullet because it is just a circle. It doesn't do anything. So it should probably like go around in circles and stuff or like go skinny. I could submit code changes as I try to get it working with 4.7 for the first person controller. You're welcome to look at it. Hello, Nighttime Crafts. Oh, I added missiles as well. So this guy shoots missiles. Right? When is he going to shoot the missiles? Now. And so now we've got particles and missiles that come out with explosions, and it's a lot more like activated, I guess, rather than just, it was just like a red triangle before that. So I think that looks good. It's a good change. Makes it feel a lot more alive. Can I port this? It's already on mobile. Oh, it's not like available yet because it hasn't been released, but it does run on Android pretty easily, to be honest. I just haven't put controls in. I tested this out. I have like a handheld. I have a Retroid Pocket that I will test this game out from time to time on. I will if it gets to a commercial release, I will put it on the Play Store. I don't know how it'll go with touch controls. I guess I need to include them if I plan to do that, but I'll cross that road when it comes to it. Like the focus is to get the game released on Steam and then that stuff later. But there's no reason you can't mobile game dev, so I'm making an FPS game. Nice. Like there's no reason with Godot and the way that it works is like, there's no reason for you not to put your game on mobile if it can be on mobile, because it is literally one button click. I had an animation for you enter the game. Nice. How long have I been doing this YouTube game dev thing? 5 years. 5 years. So I mean, yeah, 2021 was the first one. Also, if I'm a bit distracted, I'm watching the shootouts for the FIFA World Cup. I think Australia's going to lose. Egypt just got one. Is it best of 3? I don't know how these things work. I don't watch soccer. Yeah. Do you have a kid? Don't mind if I know I am childless. I'm a crazy dog person. Is that you say crazy cat lady? What's the equivalent of a man? No, I have a wife, so I guess I'm not like, because crazy cat lady is like single, right? Do you keep up with the football? I don't even know what mascot. I don't normally know. I don't watch soccer. Being from Australia, I'm more of an Australian football fan, but I don't even really watch that anymore. I don't keep up with it. I used to be obsessed with Australian football. AFL, if there's any Australians in the chat. Okay, so yeah, we've been experimenting with that. I don't know what else there is to do with that. The sprite impacts, I wanted to have multiple sprite impacts. So the thing is, like, yeah, it's nice to have like this, the impact, but like I feel like it should vary from time to time. That's doing different things. And the other thing that I noticed is in this room, the tile map doesn't have an occluder on it, so that it doesn't actually have the reflections of the particles, of which there are many. So if I go to tile set, oh god, we're losing, boys. Tile set under patterns, paint. You have to set up the physics, rendering, occlusion, add element, right? And then go to paint here and then go occlusion layer and then just click all the things that are going to occlude. I guess I made this one unique. I don't know. It seems to have traveled across every single other one, but not this one. I can just drag. It's just the external ones that we need to worry about. Realistically, we don't need the internal ones. That should be good. And now if I run this scene in particular, we'll see that reflect. Is that too fast, you reckon, for the... I reckon maybe too quick for the camera transition for the boss fight. How do I control it? I don't remember. Boss encounter, intro vibrations, encounter audio. There's something here. Camera control, camera anchor, zoom 1:1, monitoring. Make it slower. Yeah. I don't even remember how it's controlled. Camera anchor, I think, is the thing. Like when you walk into a camera anchor, it basically takes control of the camera because normally it's following the player, except in this case because you're against a wall, so it doesn't follow you. But and the zoom is what is like setting that number, because normally the zoom is that's a subtraction figure. Actually, now I'm remembering. So I'm subtracting 1 from the zoom, so we're zooming out by a factor of 1, I guess. Like, it's kind of interesting that I do it that. No, I think it makes sense actually, because we are controlling how close. So basically, to bring this all the way back, the way that you can do a pixel game in Godot is like, there's a bunch of different ways that you can do it. And the whole thing is like, yeah, you can set the resolution to be like, you know, 320 by 180, which is what the resolution I work with, but I don't. Mine's just set to, like, for some reason, 720 by 720. But what I do instead is just zoom the camera in, which allows me to zoom the camera out. So which I really like, because if you set the resolution to 320 by 180 and then try to zoom out, it does not look good. So I think this is a much better way. And also you get the smooth pixel, like you don't get pixel snapping when you turn left and right. So it's really important in that factor. It does make making UI a little bit more tricky, because you do have to pay attention to the size of the pixels and upscale things correctly. If you still want it to be pixely, you don't have to have it be pixely. I don't know, like maybe I could deviate from there. Like I know Celeste, for example, doesn't have a pixelated menu. So yeah, there's options there. Anyway, yeah, camera anchor. How do I control it? I don't remember. Bit of a distraction, really, because surely there's a speed factor. Camera anchor entered zoom. So we don't actually have a request to speed thing. That's kind of interesting. That really should be a thing. Have a look at the camera controller. So when we do get the camera feedback, set camera limits, is it in the offset controller? I don't remember which one controls this. It's been too long. Offset, target direction. No, it's in the regular rig because that controls the zoom. Set change, set camera zoom. Let's just make this a little bit readable. So camera enter. So this is the function here. Target to follow, disable zoom and zoom speed. So we can pass zoom speed, but otherwise the default is 0.2. So in theory, I think we just lost, boys. Australia's out of the World Cup. I haven't got the audio on, but the Egyptians are celebrating like crazy, so rip to us. So the camera anchor speed. So we can pass it in, I suspect, on this signal. If we go to this and we go camera anchor entered, so anchor zoom speed. So we can set that. So if we go all the way back to the camera anchor, why is that not an option? Make it so. Aren't there UI assets in all settings pre-made in Godot? I really hate dealing with UI. They're just boring and tedious. Yeah, there is a default asset. There's like default UI. You can use that, but it's very like identifiable and it, in my opinion, doesn't look good. But you know, so if it's default 0.2, I guess like 1's probably too slow, eh? Okay. Actually, that's totally fine. And then on the exit, it still goes fast. I'll set in there as well. Yeah, there's problem. I mean, not problems, but there's things I could look at with this. It's a bit distraction from what I was actually trying to do, but like realistically, still feels faster on the way back, but much less disorientating. Okay, so that's dealt with. Now we were looking at bullet impacts and creating a variety of those because we have 2. But I kind of want to have a few more so that you get like visual, you don't see the same thing over and over again. Plus I want to reuse these for the enemies, like when they hit things, if they're shooting bullets. So like, you know, I've added a material to this so that you can basically replace the texture. Go back up here and we'll do frame. So this one is like blue and sort of like a white, but it's got a little bit of a tinge of blue to it as well to match the player's bullet. But it can be anything. You could create these and you can replace them because it's just black and white. And then you just replace it with any texture you want. So yeah, I don't know how to do multiple, like the obvious thing to do is to just have an array in the bullet that it can cycle through, because right now it's just got 1. Or you could signal to the game controller and say like there was a bullet impact here, play a bullet impact, but like I feel like that's a little bit too general maybe. Like I don't know. Yeah, what do we reckon is best here? Probably, I think just keep it here is the simple way to do it. And then just have an array. And if I think of a better way to do it over time, just go with that. So you could have like an export bar of like impacts. And it's an array of pack scenes. The other thing that we desperately need to look at is the power or the speed at which the game runs. Object pooling, creating and destroying objects might be expensive. Interesting you say that. I was literally about to say we need to look at the way that we're loading things in, because I do want this game to be able to run in the browser for when we get to the demo stage, which we're literally right there. So, you know, we just got to build out the level a bit so that it's a little bit more interesting, and then it can just go for testing. So like, but one thing I have noticed is that as I've been upgrading the visuals, we've been adding a lot of bloat because we've just been using instantiate, right? Which is not like super fast. And so if you run this in the browser, we actually end up with like a really slow game. And so we're going to need to look at that because it doesn't run well. Also, like I've got a lot of unused assets that need to be removed from the project because, yeah, bringing in a bunch of sounds and then choosing the ones you like from the project manager from the file system down here is not the right way to do it, because then you have to add them all into the project when you export it. Like pickup coin. There are no pickup coins. What is that doing here? Get out of here. Okay. And switch off the soccer and we can go to actually the stream manager. Okay, and it loaded. So if I just like run a new game, I guess you guys can't see the full screen. There we go. Number one, we're in the wrong spot, but you'll notice that it freezes right when it's meant to load the particles. And it freezes for a long time too. So like, but it's fine afterwards, right? Because like triple games come out highly unperformant and still sell. I think that's a bit much. Like watch this. I go into this room. It's going to get real bad. Is it at the point of particle? Because the smaller ones don't have particles and they didn't have that issue. Ouch. And then it's fine afterwards. So, and it runs. I've never had any issues. Maybe, yeah, it's a good question. Godot has a preloading issue. Hide the loading behind a menu. Yeah, right. Like just load up all of the assets in secret, basically. Do Godot don't have a profiler? Godot does have a profiler. I could be watching it. Shaders are a pain in the apple. Yeah. I thought this had been solved. In the actual engine, you don't really notice it anymore. Back in the day, it used to be a big problem. So I guess like it's just something I have to think about. Also, Burn Circuit, welcome. So yeah, I don't know about like the way that we're doing things here. Because there's no performance. This is common with every engine. Okay. So we get an array of pack scenes and then we just make this, not that. And then we just do like an array because I can't think of a better way to do like random impacts. I guess you could have an impact manager and it could like house all the different impacts and then give you one that's preloaded up, I suppose. It feels like a lot of effort for something so like benign. If that makes sense. It's like, yeah, you could have something that like has all of this. Because then basically what I'm going to do is just go spawn impact, go like var next impact equals impacts dot random, pick random. One way to manage these sorts of problems is a pooling manager who preloads it ready to swap in and out. Yeah. Yes. Which is the other thing I was thinking about. I already have a preload manager, kind of. It's decentralized, so you can attach it to stuff. So basically, I could attach one to this, and it could load up the thing that you need in advance. So like so we could just attach a I forget what it's called, scene loader to this, and then we get access to it here. Scene loader, and it's a scene loader, right? And then we assign that. And then on ready, basically we can assign it. Either go with static or find instancing objects in the scene. And then we can just say scene loader dot start load, and it wants a path rather than an actual pack scene. That's interesting. I wonder if I could just go like next impact is equal to impacts dot pick random dot get path. I feel like that's slower. Resource path. I hate pooling managers. It was 50% of my mobile problems in Unity so far. Godot Manager is better out the gate, but it still needs addressing later. I need to do a better job, because right now this is like, you know. Yeah, I mean, I can pass it to that, and that basically just uses resource loader, which is the global that you can use to load a scene. And it just uses a threaded request and returns it via a signal. Emit loaded resource. So load finish comes back with that. Theoretically, it returns a pack scene. I'm already like just attaching pack scenes, so like maybe that's not actually faster. So yeah, actually, what's the difference between just like attaching a pack scene versus attaching a path? So see, these are the things I don't know. So like I'm returning a pack scene. I don't really see how that's even faster if I'm just attaching a pack scene here. There's the same thing. I still have to instantiate it. So I'm not loading. So it's not really going to be faster, I don't think. You know what I mean? Yeah, I need to do some research because I actually don't know anything about this stuff. Let's just skip out on that for now. Down the wrong path. Anyway, pick random, next impact equals next impact, new impact equals impact. We don't need this either. Why is it giving me a warning? Oh, I haven't typed it? That's no static type. I guess it's a pack scene. And then we instantiate it. So if I attach a pack scene to a node, does it like load it when I load that scene? How does that work? I don't actually know. And then, yeah, we set the position and then we deploy. So I guess now it should be working fine. It should load on demand. You can run a tiny variable state to find out. Oh, okay. Fair enough. But yeah, the browser performance is really bad, so I need to, yeah, probably look at preloading. Yeah, okay, so it is different depending on the... there's only two, so like you don't really see much of a difference. One's square, one's angular. We can make a couple more just to see. It's just 8x8, so there's not a lot to them. It's like 4 frames I'm doing, basically, and you just go start with the white. Still start with a square, but like we can start with 1 pixel, and then the next one is like really big. Let's make it a cross shape, because the other one is a diamond shape. And we'll do black on... Do it like this. Is that too much? It's probably fine. And then the next frame, my iPad 2 Pro is suffering on my demos at the moment. I mean, isn't it an iPad 2 really old? At the start, I can see really bad jitters at the start with the iPhone 6. I can worry about it when I have enough time to load into a manager. Yeah. That's like, those things are ancient. Yeah, I've got a Samsung S, I want to say 6, sitting around somewhere that I could boot up. I don't even think they were using 64-bit hardware at the time, like by then. You know what I mean? Like that stuff's ancient. That's the oldest device I have. I don't know where it is. You won't see problems on good gear. No, you won't. I guess my tablet, oh no, I also have an old OnePlus 7, which runs a Snapdragon 855. So that's pretty old too, but it's not that old. What's the name of the category on Twitch for streaming to game development? Software and game development. I don't know why it doesn't come up straight away. You have to type like the entire word game development. Anyway, older devices will show loading hiccups. Yeah. Yeah, I have an old work computer. That's actually, you know what? I have a really ancient laptop sitting at the bottom of one of those, a plastic box somewhere. I should turn that on. That thing's ancient. Okay, what does this look like now after the second bit? I reckon we just shave off this. That's too much. Third frame. This. And then final frame. Ancient laptop with a hard drive. I think it does have a hard drive now that you mention it. Let's go like this. Make some fun shapes. That'll do. We'll save that. Let's export it first, I guess, since we're automatically going to that as a sprite sheet. And then output. Okay, that is not where we want it to go. Explosions, assets, explosion. We want to go to bullet impacts. I think it's under projectiles, impacts, and then we've got another one. 3. Buy a $50 phone. That's not bad advice. Yeah. Something really small. Yeah, that could work. A tax deduction. Because we all know that tax deductions mean that it's free, basically. I'm just going to make this one a blob. I'm not really going to pay too much attention to it. Oh, this is the big one. Messy. I don't know how this will look because it's small even on like the big, even with the small resolution, 8x8 is pretty tiny. So like, I don't know. I'm just going to scribble and see what it looks like. See if we can get away with it. Okay, let's do that as the fourth one. Yeah, it probably makes more sense to load up these sprites rather than load up an entire different scene as well. Like something to think about. I mean, I guess if I want, I can have different particle effects and stuff like that. Let's stop this. That's something to remember. They've seen as the good thing about it so far is that like it like translates pretty easily. Hey, just want to ask, do you think a game will be successful even when the dev just released the game? I rarely interact with social media. It happens all the time. Yeah, there's people that have successful games that don't like post on socials. You know, so I wouldn't worry too much about it. Don't expect too much though. Like that, I think that's the main thing with like a lot of game dev, especially if you're new. Like just go in, like have fun with it, enjoy the process, and take that approach rather than like expecting to make millions, because it takes time. You know, you have to get a couple of reps under your belt, which is what I'm trying to do now. Like just get a couple of reps in, so that you can obviously try to make a good game, but like just enjoy the process. Not bad. What about the GPUs, the particles? Everyone's got a different approach, I guess. Some people really focus on the money side of things, which is fine. Should change the sounds. I got a couple of different noises. I've been working on trying to replace the assets with my own rather than using external assets. Wonder if we can change this a little bit to give it like a more of a make unique. I guess it's always unique if it's a separate scene to the others. I don't know. You could spread it more, I guess. The direction is determined by the velocity of the bullet. So like that's not something. What website do you use for SFX? I am a Reaper guy. So I guess like for me, I was making music before I was making games. So like I have a little bit more experience in the field of music production. So I prefer to use something that's a little bit more robust. I don't know if this is going to mess up my microphone, by the way. So apologies if it does. Just let me know. Because Reaper takes over control of the hardware. So I don't know. We'll see. So I use Reaper. Obviously, I need to pay for a new license. Still haven't done that yet. So it's obviously a lot. But I've been experimenting around with 8-bit plugins. So I've got that one, which is Magical 8-bit Plug 2. I think it's probably the best one I've tried so far. I think I've got another one here. I don't know. They all seem to be using the same thing. Ah, yes. YM-SVT, which is meant to like imitate the Atari license. Yeah, it is paid for software. there is open source alternatives. It's just the one that I know how to use because I was using it years ago. I've been using Reaper for 10 years. So for me, it's just a little bit easier to, like, I'm not going to switch just because the license is really cheap, and it also, it doesn't even really request, like, you don't have to pay for it. I do want to because I feel like I owe them. But Sora Boy is another really good plugin that I've been playing around with. It's basically trying to imitate Game Boy. I don't know if this is going to work, so bear with me. If I hit record, ooh, there's a delay. Sounds cool on my end. How does that sound? Have I played Apex Legends? That does seem like it's coming through. I'm not very good with piano. I'm more of a guitarist, as you can see from behind me. But yeah, you can play around with this, and you can basically set the waveform or the octave or the bend, which is pretty cool. So you could use that for like a power up or something, you know? Easy sound effect. Sounds like a jump, maybe. Maybe a shooting. I don't know. But yeah, you can do a lot with these plugins, which is pretty cool. GDFXR is a copy of SFXR in Godot. You can use it live. Oh, that's cool. I know that, yeah, Godot's gotten pretty good sound support since Godot 4. I haven't played around with it though. I'm still just like touching. So I've been working on this song here, which is meant to be like kind of, you know, I've been trying to listen to Metroid soundtrack and sort of come up with something that is sort of close to that. Although I'll be honest with you, it's been a very long time since I've written music. Like I haven't touched it since 2018. And also like I used to just make like rock music. So this is a big change for me. That's probably really loud. So basically this is what I'm playing around with right now. I don't know. Obviously this would be like the combined sound. Like you build up this Minecraft. Does it sound like Minecraft? I don't know. I'm hopeless at full tracks. I get a lot of stems and analysis paralysis. Yeah, so what I do with this, at least what I'm planning to do, is basically take this core, this drone in the background, have that be like continuous, and then like layer these little melodies on top of it and sort of try to make it sound like Metroid 2. It's really hard because like these game musicians like do a really good job. It's not as simple as you want it to be. Title theme. So they got that like high pitched thing. Full-time career? Yeah, well, it's really hard. This is really low. That's too loud. So like, yeah, it's pretty far off that, to be honest, now that I listen to it. Also, this is Game Boy, so the sound is a lot lower. So yeah, that's sort of what I'm using as a bit of a reference. I don't know as well, like Super Metroid is basically the same thing, but like better. You listen to Touhou and older, maybe OST, you get, I haven't heard that one. What's that? What's Touhou? Oh. What is this game? Oh, it's like one of those, it's bullet hell, or is it? What is this? 10 years ago, best of Touhou OST remix, Touhou 19. All Touhou music in order. It's probably a little bit high def, but it's not bad. See, this is like way harder to make than you realize, I think. That's the collective you. I'm not talking about you specifically. Like, there's a lot already. I suppose, like the Apregio in the first thing, Apregio, I guess is the right way to say that. What is this peak I'm hearing? To save lots of download space before you commit a massive binary, look into MIDI or mod tracks. Oh yeah, good point. Yeah, I was just exporting everything as WAV files, so that's probably not good. The Apregio in the background, maybe you could do that with a synth pretty easily. And then yeah, I don't know. This is like just house music, but it's pretty awesome. What is the drop? I want to hear the drop. Oh, it didn't drop. Music to your ears. I was expecting more of a drop there, but okay. Because it is just, yeah, they're just following a scale. So it's, I guess, but yeah, still really hard to get that stuff to all line up. I wish I had a Game Boy. Same. I'm going to buy one. I want to make a Game Boy game. I think that would be a fun project. There's an SDK called GBDK 2020. This is a project that I've been like ruminating on for the last couple of weeks. So you can get GBDK 2020 and you can actually make a Game Boy game. And I think it would make a really fun project to make a Game Boy game with this SDK and then get a Game Boy. I'd probably need to import it from Japan because getting one on the Gold Coast is basically impossible. They're like $200 on Facebook Marketplace and stuff like that. And also they're never close by. So you end up having to drive for hours. And then like fix it up and then actually put it on hardware. I think that would be a fun video. It's hard to do though because GBDK is like just C. I dare you to make a modern FPS. That ain't happening. The game. I watched someone the other day when I was like looking at this stuff to like think about it. I watched someone make a YouTube on the Game Boy, which was insane. Game Boy. One FPS. It is just like, I don't even think you could do like Doom. Is there Doom on Game Boy? Probably on Game Boy Advance, right? Like I feel like that's the minimum. Doom Game Boy. Yeah, Game Boy Advance. It makes sense. The other ones didn't really have the hardware for it. I do have a copy of this. I've never played it. I played the first level and then like, I'm like, all right, I've seen it. Damn, it looks like shit. There's a Sony handset as well in the garage box sale. Yeah. Get a PSP. The one thing about Touhou fans is that most of them rarely played the game. They just listen to the OST. Maybe you can, yeah, okay. I mean, I'm not that good. I was never that good at making music. It's just something I like to do. I've got a lot of reps in. I've been doing it for a long time, but I'm not like particularly good, if that makes sense. Because there's a difference, right? Like there's one thing to know how to like play the instrument and work the tools, but like to actually make it decent. Like I remember I was trying to get like someone to, this was back in the day, I was trying to get someone to publish my work. And they were like, yeah, I don't know, the guitar's a bit lacking. And I was like, fuck. And I like went and did a bunch of stuff, but like I could never really crack it. Make a PSP soundtrack for Metro or something, I forget. Okay, so particles. And oh, that's right. I was going to change the sound of the noise that I have here because I've just got noise. I don't know how loud this is going to be, so bear with me. Like playing around with music in this thing is kind of annoying because it can be really loud. So we've got the external explosion noises, but we don't want that. We actually have a new folder called noise, which I was playing around with. So we've got, we don't want like a lot of noise for these. Let me just check the levels. Something like that is fine, I think. What have we got here? This is low noise. So low noise C3, it's literally a different note. So I think it's fine to use that. Bro, how is compatibility render in Godot? You can't use particles. Ooh, good point. I should test this out on the Android handheld. Channel 10 used to have this kids show called Wombat. Oh, yeah. Makes me want, yeah, it probably just wouldn't play the particle effect. If I had to guess like what it would do if I switched compatibility. I don't even know how to do that. Normally it's over here, but like it's not here, so I don't know. Anyway, okay, so Bullet Impact 3 can use that sound, and Bullet Impact Unpacked 2, we'll give it a different one. Noise. If I can spell. We got G3. That'll do. Not particularly fussy about it. Just make it probably a little bit louder in the mix. Project settings renderer changes everything. I don't want to change everything. Normally there's like and I think that's just with the Android build. There's a thing over here that you can use to change it. Instead of loading a lot of particles, create your own chunks in 2D with rigid bodies behind every particle. A lot of code before it starts. A few rigid bodies looks the same. You know, I was actually considering that because I was not 100% sure about the occluder. Because I didn't know. I had to Google it because I wanted them to react to the, you know, the walls and stuff like that, so they bounce around. And one of the things that I was like, okay, well, you need to create a light occluder in order for that to work. And like, I thought I had to draw that. And I was like, oh God, I'm going to have to write a whole like tool to make that happen. Particles are a luxury for the AA and AAA boys. Yeah. Do I plan on marketing it? Yeah, I suppose. We're pretty far off that. Like, honestly, the goal is right now just to get the demo out and see if people even like the way that it plays. I'll push it to the Reddit. I'll push it to like Metroidvania. I'll push it to like, you know, whatever I can to get people to try it out and then see what their feedback is on it. And if they don't like it, then I think I change. I just do something else. Like, I don't want to spend years on a game that people don't like. So from that regard, you know, we'll give it a go, but you know, I've got plenty of ideas in the tank, so it's quiet. I have a hidden love for 2D Metroidvania. I like 2D. I used to have like a really big, like I used to only want to make 3D games. Even when I was a kid, like I remember like wanting to make games when I was like 5 years old, and I was obsessed with Crash Bandicoot, and I just wanted to make a 3D game. This was in 1995. Like there's just not a possibility for a 5-year-old to make a 3D game on like the family computer. So it was like one of those things where I wanted to, and then I realized that it was like, yeah, you can make like a 2D game with a couple of sprites. And it also, you have to learn how to code, and I instantly lost interest. My dad was showing me. Yeah, Crash is a great game. And so like, and like the goal was always like, I wanted to make a 3D game, but then when it actually came down to it and like learning how to make a game, and I spent a lot of time learning how to work in 3D, it's just like, it's a lot harder to do like artistically for me at least. I just had a lot of hard time. I had a really hard time making the levels, making anything that I felt like looks good. I still struggle with that in 2D as well, but at least in 2D, there's just less to worry about, right? Like there's less going on in terms of like the design. It's very flat. And so, you know, you don't have to think about every angle someone can look at things at from. And in that regard, I think it's a lot better. Obviously in 3D, you can do the same thing, but you know, I think this is a better approach for me as someone who hasn't made a large project before. And yeah, there are disadvantages to that because, you know, at the end of the day, you do have to do a lot of animation. Like the character has a ton of animations and it is a lot of work, and you can't just like download it. You can't just create like a rig and upload it to Mixamo. You have to hand animate all of that stuff. Like I'm missing animations for the healing. I'm missing animations for like all of the special attacks and all of that stuff. I'm missing all of those animations. He doesn't look up. There are the animations are there. I just haven't implemented it yet. The enemies don't do anything. You know, they're all floating because like I don't want to make them walk. So there's definitely like there's challenges as well with 2D always. And but at the end of the day, like I do think if I'm gonna make a Metroidvania from a 2D, so if it was 3D it'd be 2.5, you'd be locking the access anyway. And in Godot, if you go to 3D, you are like losing a lot of like the creation tools, right? Like you don't have tile map. Grid map isn't the same, it just doesn't work that way. So in order to make these levels, I think tile map actually works really well. And so, you know, I think 2D is a better choice for a 2D Metroidvania. Yeah, 3D gives you like artistic approaches that you can use that you wouldn't normally get. You can have lighting, you can have depth, and I experimented with that in 2D as well. But at the end of the day, I think 2D is a better choice here. Mid-phase Project Demon, always come out and play with your mind. Bro is cooking a montage. I think it's called a monologue. Bullet Impact 3. I just wanted to drop that in there. I forgot what I was even going to do after that. Technically, this is all 3D, but you are forcing 2D. I thought Godot was like pure 2D. Oh, that's right. I wanted to listen to the sounds. Okay. Oh, interesting. Oh, I forgot to turn off the... I forgot to make that. I was testing it and then forgot to make it a one-shot. 2D and new engines are flat meshes with sprites. A Metroidvania in 3D. Maybe the next game. I'd like to do a... realistically, my dream game would be to make a immersive sim. I really like that genre. But it's just a lot of work for one person, so I'm not going to do that. It's expensive to work with real old 2D frame buffering. Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't know nothing about that, like the technical aspects of it. I'm not that kind of guy. I'm a script kiddie at heart. We all know this. Okay. So it's horrible down there. Keep rolling. Yeah, I choose not to know. One day I'll get into like the arc of contributing to the engine and all that kind of stuff, and I'll start to learn about it all. And then that's all I'll do. Oh, I was looking at sounds. All right, so this one is using... Am I using a different sound for all of them? Low noise, C3. Let me just open... Close some of this stuff so I can just look at them all. Security drone, don't care. Camera rig, don't care. Signal manager, don't care. Bullet Impact 2. Facility 1. Okay, and then we can look at Bullet Impact Original. I did replace all the sounds, right? I think I just changed the level of one of them. So we've got low noise wave. Let's just make this like negative 10 dB. And also I think I got them on the master track, but they should be on the FX track. Or game sounds? What's game sounds? FX makes more sense. Did you see Godot has banned AI contributions in the project? Yeah. And good. AI contributions, the craft has a chance. Absolutely. The one thing I didn't know about that and I wanted to look into was that I'm assuming it means like fully generated. Like I know people use AI like ChatGPT and Claude and all that to look for bugs in the code and then create a fix for that and push it to the repository, which is bad. But I'm assuming they don't mean to ban people using it to like just enhance their own coding ability. I'm not too sure, so I wanted to read this. So over the last several years, we have become overwhelmed with the large number of code contributions, pull requests, especially those from new contributors. The number of open PRs has become a meme in the community. Yeah. In part, the number of open PRs is a healthy sign that people are interested in contributing to Godot and are willing to put the time in to contribute. And we are cautious about future creep, and we are dedicated to high code quality. And I think this is a really good thing. Like, they don't just accept anything. They really spend a lot of time making sure that it's good. And as a user of the engine, I respect that. But ultimately, a large part of the backlog comes from the fact that the number of qualified reviewers is small and reviewing PRs is demanding. And we can't keep up with everything coming in. And the problem is compounded by the recent increase in AI generated contributions. Both AI agents, yeah, so this is a problem, and humans submitting AI generated code. So yeah, both of those things, I guess, are an issue. The amount of effort required to make PR has gone down, right? So it's completely zero. You can just set up an agent to do that for you. You don't even have to watch it, I guess. While the amount of work to review PRs and the amount of people able to review them has stayed the same. We need to set up an AI to review no, we don't want to do that. This reviewer shortage already was a problem, but it's one that is successfully ignored. We can no longer ignore it. They should just set up an AI to like analyze the contributions, and like if it's detecting AI, just reject it. AI contributions have the added pain of being demoralizing. Reviewing PRs is already tedious work, but it is rewarding because reviewers generally feel that their efforts are contributing to educating a new contributor, right? So it was like, oh, we found someone who wants to like actually contribute to the engine and make it better, and we're going to show them like how to do that in the best way possible. And you're like communicating with a person who's like young and hungry and wants to make a difference, but now it's just like a robot. It's like, I understand that, and then it like takes a massive drink. I don't have any water in my cup. AI to detect AI is using AI to detect that it is being detected. So the AI can detect the AI detecting as long as the AI detecting AI knows that all other AI is AI. Yeah, something like that. It is time for us to recognize these problems aren't going away, and therefore we need to take steps and reduce the burden of maintainers while assuring that we have the pipeline to mentor new contributors to become the future maintainers. Accordingly, we are in the process of updating we are in the process of updating our contribution policies, including adding a stricter policy on AI contributions. The Foundation Board and its maintainers have been discussing a new policy for several months, and our focus will be on encouraging new contributors to become future maintainers. That involves teaching and growing the understanding of new contributors. Yeah, I think this is good. Ultimately, LLMs can't learn from specific feedback. They just go, yeah, I hear you. I understand that. Good pickup. Yeah. RIP. Ensuring all contributions are made by humans who can take responsibility for their code and are able and willing to fix it when needed. Yeah, I guess I'm curious to see as we get through this if they're going to allow people who use it to just enhance their coding, because I know that's very common in like the software development space. Bro, how can I make that when I jump sound make play? Wait, what the heck? How can I make that when check spelling? I can't read that. I'm dumb. Okay, ensuring all contributions are made by humans. Okay, adding barriers for low effort slop. My bad, you were correct. The sky is actually blue. I was reading a Reddit post from someone who named Swedish Cat Gigolo who said the sky is green. So I thought you were talking about that. Yeah, exactly. How is that orange, by the way? How does that show up in my thing? It doesn't. Unfortunately, this means that we need to make barriers to contribution, but want to do it in a way that does not cut off our maintainer pipeline. / me. Okay. Increasing the incentive to review PRs. Yeah, but how do you do that as like an open source engine? You can't really pay people to do it. I suppose you can pay people to do it. We need to ensure that people who choose to review PRs feel their time is well spent. Okay, so we will amend our contribution policy to include the prohibition. I can read. We'll amend our contribution policy to include a prohibition on new features or significant refactoring from new contributors without explicit permission from maintainers. This ensures that new contributions take time to learn the code base and engage with maintainers to build trust, working on bug fixes and documentation before diving into significant projects. We consider new contributor to be someone with 3 or fewer merge pull requests. Shortly, we will amend contribution policy to align with the values described above. Our amended policy will include that no autonomous AI use or vibe coding. Okay, so yeah. So you can't vibe code a PR request and you can't do AI agents, which I think is like, yeah, I have no issues with like removing that. The GPT era has made everyone a dangerous expert. So, you know, like, because an AI agent or a vibe coder doesn't really know, like, and I even see this, like, when people ask me questions or if I'm like browsing in Godot, like the subreddits or like whatever, people asking for help with their projects. And it's like, if you're using AI, you really don't know why it's not working or like why it's not good. So like vibe coding is sort of in that same realm. And that's why you're reaching out for help, because you're like, I don't understand why the vibe code. Oh, look, we got AI viewers. We could get some AI viewers to watch me dunk on AI. No thanks. No use of AI to generate substantial pieces of code. So yeah, this is where I think it gets a little bit muddy. AI assistance should be limited to menial things. Okay, like code completion, regex, or fine. So basically they're saying like, it really should just be the bare minimum. If you do use AI in some capacity to author code, you must disclose in the PR. You can fork Godot and load Minimax 2x, 2.x, which is a Vibe Bros wet dream. No cost tokens, very strong AI coder. No AI generated text in human to human communication. Yeah, I hate that. I hate that so much. Yeah, I mean, I understand some people, like, it's difficult to like communicate. The temptation to use it at work when I'm talking with certain people is like high, but I try not to. When our maintainers volunteer, especially maybe like if you feel like your English is not your first language or something like that, and you want to write into ChatGPT to get a translation or something like that. But yeah, it's tough. They do not want to talk to a machine. This is basic principle of respect. Machine translation, okay, literally next line, machine translations are acceptable as long as the original content was written by a human. Okay. All PRs must be reviewed and approved by a human before merging. It's anti-AI policy. And this is why Godot just keeps winning. Godot? Gado? Maybe we just, Gay-I, Godot? Pride month's over, so... Yeah, I mean, I think, you know, banning agents and vibe coders is absolutely 100% okay. This one, I guess it just depends. Ultimately, what they're saying is they want the person who is making the contribution to understand what kind of contribution they're making. At the end of the day, that's all they want. And I do think like PRs being reviewed by humans is probably a good thing. Like I said, I was toying with the idea before to get the AI to detect AI, but like, yeah, it's probably better off we just leave the humans in charge of that. Vashil Fosclio. Welcome. Okay, so Novabyte was asking a question. When I jump, I want a sound to play in my 3D game. There's so many things you can do for that, by the way. And it's the same in, you created pixel art engine. Nice. Gemini 3.1. Oh, so you vibe coded it? Hey, if it works, it works. I mean, I wouldn't buy it from you, but AI would change the world. I mean, I think it will. I don't know if it'll change it for the good. Okay, so I'm going to answer this question from Novabyte because he was asking about like playing a sound when there's a jump. When you jump to play a sound, it's really, really straightforward. There's a couple of different ways that you can do it. Yeah, it's called The Matrix. I've watched a few movies about AI changing the world. So here, I'll show you in 2D. It's the same in 3D, doesn't change. Because sound is kind of like the same in every single aspect. So if we go to the player, now take the code and ask Minimax or StarCoder to rip it apart for mistakes and correct them. Also ask the Sloperator to write the unit tests. I mean, I'll always just maintain that like if you want to use AI, that's your personal choice. I don't like it and I'm not going to use it because this is my fun time. I'm having fun. I'm actually porting it to Windows application. Nice. And I just like the use of it for art. I think that's not necessary. Okay, so jumping. Surely you're gonna make a game. And keep me updated. I'm really interested to see, like, I haven't seen too many games that have been complete. Like, do you know how to code though? Or is it just something you're doing, like you're just vibing it out? Because like, I would really like to see some examples of people who have just like vibe coded their way to a game and how it feels and plays. I don't want to use it either. Just be a fly on the wall when you get audited later and can't explain your business model. How'd you make this money? Okay, so straight up, like, I think I'm just using the animation player for the audio here. So obviously there's an animation when you jump or when you enter the state, you play the sound. Oh no, okay, so I'm definitely not playing the sound there. Jump has an audio stream player attached to it. Minecraft was vibe coded? Did he have good vibes when he coded it? Or, oh yeah, play, jump, pitch, scale, range. Okay, so I just call a function and I set play. So yeah, I mean, playing sound is really easy. I have access to the audio stream player here. When I enter the state, I play the jump, and then I make sure that I'm inside the tree because like sometimes I have been having troubles where that's not the case. But if you are inside the tree, then I will stop the player just in case. That's just like a safe. Then I change the pitch, so it's a little bit different every time. So randef 0.5 to 0.9, set the pitch scale, and then jump stream player.play. Super easy. Experimentation while coding. I guess then my game's vibe coded too. I guess you could call me a vibe coder because the vibes are just immaculate. You know? I don't have sunglasses. I was like, yeah. I just got regular glasses. That's not as funny. Oh well. Okay, yeah, we were meant to be testing out the sound of these impacts. Let's make a fourth one just to really screw it away. Cut and pasting from the real web, cut and pasting from the stolen real web. Yeah, I mean, I guess there's some level of argument to say that if you were taking a lot from like Stack Exchange, then were you really coding it all? Mine's all written mostly. I don't think I copied much. I copy a lot of shader code. I copy shader code. Kill me. You're a coder. Nice, dude. If I use English and the output is the application, what's the difference? Yeah. I get what you're trying to say. It's not the, it's not really, the problem I have with it is not the, like the actual, like, oh, it's illegitimate way of coding. That's never been the issue for me. I mean, there is challenges with, like, if you don't get what you're asking for, fixing it can be difficult. But I mean, no different from copying code, right? Difference when you get asked to prove a bill of materials. Bone Circuit knows what he's talking about too. He actually does this for a living. Illegally obtained data. It's a risk. The laws might change at any moment. My biggest issue is the risk to employment workers. You know, like, I have this opinion that, and I know this because I do work in finance. This is a discussion I have regularly. The ultimate goal of a business is to reduce its costs, to increase its profit margin. And one of the best ways a business can do that is by reducing payroll. And one of the ways that people can potentially reduce payroll is by replacing everybody with AI. Currently, it costs more to do that than hiring people. But eventually that might change, and well, businesses won't hesitate to replace us all with robots at the drop of a hat. Facebook is peak on illegal use of data. Yeah. And so that's just like my biggest fear when it comes to AI. Is the second that it can replace people, it will. And then we'll have a pretty big economic crisis on our hands. Ignoring the bill of materials that have illegally obtained data is auditing company rubbing their hands behind a tree. I don't understand the, like, I kind of get what you're saying, but like, also, does that actually happen? Do people ask you to prove like the legitimacy of your code when you're like submitting a project to a company that's contracted you to make something for them? I can't explain my code for sure, but the result is better than most apps. Yeah, fair enough. Getting audited by the system is nothing when it's the tax man. Oh, the tax man's not going to care how you did your code, is he? I think if the laws change, I don't think it's illegal to use. I mean, yeah, it's a good question. I guess I don't know. I don't have experience with it, so I'll defer to you. I don't know. What the hell is it doing? All right, I was making a fourth bullet impact. How many hours does it take me to do one thing? All current forms of GPT data at the start was not allowed for commercial gains. Ah, yeah. Was that in the license of GPT? Did they change that? Audio stream player, low noise. I would love to be the voice on fair use for AI coding then. Sue me. I'll be rich. You're like, I'll take it. I'll take them. Bring it on. I don't know which one I haven't used yet. I guess we all have our different concerns. It's all about like what you're willing to take on. It's a personal choice at the end of the day. It's not... I'll still be your friend if you use AI. But you will hear me rant and rave about it. I will be that guy on telling you it's going to cook your brain. Impact 4, Impact 2. Leon is a dataset that was used for GAN image hallucination. It is allowed for commercial use. Okay. Yeah, getting the license right is important. I think like also like using the technology, like if you look at what Corridor Digital has done with AI, I think it's like a really good example of correct and ethical use of the AI. They've done a lot of stuff where they've created their own data sets and made their own models and used it to enhance their workflow, which I think is what AI is for, right? That's the ultimate goal of AI, is to, you know, enhance a person's workflow to make their life easier, not to take over the job entirely. So I think they were using it to make a green screen, a rotoscope tool and they train the model with their own stuff, and it's apparently really good. So, you know, big ups. If Disney used if Disney, yeah, well, I mean, that's the thing. Like, if Disney just deletes all of their animation team and then just, you know, has an executive dream up their fantasy Disney movie, then I think that's a big problem. I got 4 of these. Somehow I keep forgetting to, like, 10 C3, 10 G3, 10, I don't know what note, I didn't write it down. Could be the same as the others, G2. Okay. Can't use stolen or commercial software, no different to LLMs with stolen data. I'm using Mickey on your app, you're gonna get smacked down real hard if that's the case. Like, that is, yeah, they don't mess around, especially if you're trying to make a reverse engineering is not allowed, I guess. I mean, they don't want it to be. Stolen commercial software is different from reverse engineering. Yeah, it's just like, I've got Mickey. I think the old Mickey, right, is okay. He's free to use now. What do they call it? He's in the domain. It's called Licky, not Mickey. He's yellow. You have to be, I want to see a picture, link picture. Let's see how this sounds. Some are quieter than others. I don't like that. Different tonations. Even though he's in the domain, Disney are going to bend over YouTube. Evidence shows with the first few channels have tried it, yeah. Because they probably still like, they're going to be like, oh, it's, you know, we still own the likeness, so you can't like... I think the different volumes is to do with the proximity, because I'm using Noise 2D. I don't know. I have to replace these. Also, we should fix that. The other thing I noted... Right, let me come back into this room so it's clean. This here is meant to be like a breakable... You know what I mean? Like, you can shoot down and break this. But you can also use the down slam. So if you down slam, which also doesn't have an animation, I need to make one. If you down slam on this, you can do it. But if you, okay, there's 2 things. Number 1, you can spam that like crazy. I didn't realize that. So there's no cooldown. Number 2, there is, this doesn't disappear fast enough. So you can continually do it even though it's open. Like, you can just keep doing this for a little bit. I suppose there's... Honestly, is it that bad? Hang on a second. Let's reset this. Banter aside, and your energy, I love your game. Thank you. Hopefully, I don't take too much longer to get the demo out and I can get people to play it. It's been really slow. Like I said, I work in finance. End of financial year. It's been a crazy week for me. I worked 18 hours on Tuesday. I woke up at 6 a.m. No, I started work at 6 a.m. and I didn't finish until 10:30. I don't know if that's 18 hours, to be honest. I just said that number. It's a long time. It was a long day. End of financial year. I think the last frontier with game dev is AI animations and asset creation, though. Yeah, that just feels gross, though. July finances, bro crunch. Yeah, it's literally like my version of crunch. It is insanity. The level of work because like you have the regular monthly deadlines that you have to hit, but you also have like yearly stuff that you have to do. Like I've got so much to do with like my lease contracts because that's what I do. I work with leases, and it's like, it's insane. Like the amount of stuff that I've got to put, because it's like really high stakes. It's really, really important that this stuff is right. And it's like, oh my God. So yeah, I think it was Tuesday. It was the 30th and the 1st that were like insane days. But even yesterday, I was like, after I had dinner, I came back and I was working on some reconciliations for some people, and it's like, it's insane, man. It does look really bad. How do I fix that? Okay, so there's a couple of things. The first thing I'm thinking is I need to deactivate the hitbox on that as soon as it's destroyed. Like there's a little bit of a fade out to like give it a bit of a better look, if that makes sense. I'm gonna eat this instead of... Logic is logic. Imagine if AI let something pass and you were liable. Yeah, oh yeah, you can't be. I would be liable. So even if I use AI to like review contracts, I do use AI. What I do is I give it the contract and then I ask it to find the references to things, because like it's a little bit faster. So I'd just be like, hey, can you find me the clause that speaks about the security deposit or something like that? And then it'll say, yeah, it's on page 50. And then you just go to page 50 and see if it's there. It works sometimes, but you got to read it yourself, because you can't be like letting the AI tell you what it says. But you have to look at it yourself, because if you're wrong, well, if I use AI, if I do it myself and I'm still wrong, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. You know what I mean? I'm ready to full slot prompt, do my work. Yeah. Okay. So let's have a look at this. Where is it hiding? Under secrets, and broken wall is the project, is the thing. Broken wall, broken floor. They're the same. I'm probably going to need to update it in both. I don't know. Or is it just one script? Now there is actually like a function on the hurt box to turn it off. You can set active. So we can, if we have access to that, which I don't know if we do, we don't, but we can get it. We're just going to have to set it in the 2. So export var, hurt box, I guess. Hurt box is a hurt box. I can't spell. Where's my keyboard? Get rid of the number pad. We're not using that right now. Okay, so we take the hurt box, and when we do a health 0, because this does have health, it takes 3 hits. I'm not one-shotting my code though. Yeah, I mean, you can't be. Even if you're using AI, you have to be reviewing that shit. Okay, so it says discovery found, play destroy, which is why it's still around, because it's like a fade out thing. Actually, you know what? Hold up. Let's just check the animation. Could this just be all fixed in the animation? So what are we doing? What if I type line after line? I actually am taking the broken wall of the collision layer, but I'm not taking the hurt box. So I could just put this in the animation player. I think I'll code it though, because it's going to be easier to do for both of them, the broken floor and the broken wall. Or if it's the same, I think it might be the same, to be honest. So we can say the hurt box dot set active false, and that should deal with that. And just set that here. And I'm pretty sure actually this is just the same object in the level, even though there's a couple of them. Facility 1. Let us cheat. It's a valid tool. I mean, I don't think you should. If you're... Okay, wait, you typed a lot. I gotta read this. I'm system building and stuff. What if I type line for line after? Is that my code now? When they let us cheat on tests, they let you cheat using AI? That's crazy. This argument is gone. It's a valid tool. The software is fine now. How obtain this is just training data. It's the problem is the data, like the tool, the model. The model is the issue. Like the tool is the tool. Like AI is what it is. It's just a prediction model, right? Like the problem is where that data came from to train the model. And if it was legitimately obtained, there is a genuine legal risk there. Whether or not that gets enforced in the future is a really gray area. So like if you're creating a commercial product, you are putting yourself at risk, or at least exposing yourself in some way by using a model that wasn't using like legally obtained data. And that is like a valid concern. Like you should be aware of that and either be like, you know, okay with that risk or mitigating it somehow. So Anthropic is illegal. It's not yet, right? It could be. There hasn't been a case yet. You know what I mean? Personally, if you understand the code a bit and prompt for blocks of code, it can be quite good. Yeah, I think that's how most people use it. I mean, yeah, they'll come for people. They won't come for the companies because the companies are too big. I mean, to be fair, I think like even though it is a risk, it's like a known risk of these tools. It's probably not something like the cat's out of the bag kind of thing. It's just you can't put the toothpaste back in the tube. Everyone's using it. But we'll see. We'll see. You have to be aware of that. I think these all go to the same thing. Yeah, they do. Okay, well, let's see now. Yeah, okay, much better. Easy fix. I gotta work on the backgrounds, eh? Yeah, you can shoot through. There's a couple of things I need to do. Oh, I also wanted to look at the healing. I don't like the continuous heal. I think we should just do like one, like do it Silksong style and just do like a single hit to heal. Like you stop and you have to like take that moment to get a heal off rather than like getting the continuous stream of health in, which is more like Hollow Knight style. I think that's better because it doesn't feel good to just sit there. I mean, obviously there's no animation, so it looks really weird right now, but like, yeah, I think it would be better. Oh, I need to fix that too. AI companies aren't at risk of DCMA. And kind of weird how you can shoot through the wall. Don't shoot through the wall. Hey, it hits the wall. Am I crazy? Where did that happen? It deletes. Oh yeah, you're revealing a secret there. I guess it depends. Yeah, I don't know. Actually, that's a good point. Like, is that like artistically okay? I need to review like other games. Because it's basically what that is like, yeah, a secret section that you can go down. It was just me experimenting with the idea of like secret sections, but it is like now that we're like sort of at that stage where we're touching things up, it is like, yes, is like for this, obviously it's not a big deal because, you know, it's just a small section. So it kind of feels like it fully disappears, but this is like a major hidden area. Let's just get rid of this guy. So it's sort of like a bit different, where like it all gets revealed afterwards. I don't know. Yeah, maybe you could like have it be only revealed when you walk inside it. That would probably look a bit better, right? So if we create like a little cavity here and then the rest is still dark, and then when you walk inside it gets like opened up or something like that. I thought you'd have to keep shooting and clip away at the wall more. Like you can only destroy one block at a time. It takes 3 shots. Maybe I just... yeah, I don't know. I think that's okay. That's pretty normal in these kind of games. But yeah, there could probably be artistic options. Hello, Bob. How are you? Okay. So we're cleaning things up. What was the other thing that I was mentioning that I need? Oh, the healing. You love Godot? I love Godot too. Fornalate. Forlamate. I don't know how you spell that. How you pronounce that. What are we making? We're making a Metroidvania in the style of like Silksong, Hollow Knight, that kind of thing, but Mega Man type combat. But you can shoot up. So it's essentially, I'm trying to get the vibe of like, because in my opinion, like, okay, so like modern Metroidvanias, obviously the bosses are very like high level quality. Like if you play, you know, Nine Souls, Silksong, obviously Hollow Knight, what was the other one I played this year? Mio. All of those games have like really high quality boss fights. But if you go back and you play the old Metroidvanias, like Metroid, Super Metroid, Castlevania, like their boss quality is really low. Am I indie? Yeah, it's just me. It's just me on my own right now. And sometimes I get occasional help from my wife for the art. So, you know, the quality of those bosses in the older titles is really low. But if you go and you play the Mega Man games from like, not the ones on NES, but if you play like Mega Man X, Mega Man Zero on Game Boy Advance, like those bosses are super high quality. Like, cause that game is mostly just about the boss fights. And it's, yeah, it's, so I'm trying to get the essence of like Mega Man Zero with Silksong with, yeah, no, all that kind of stuff. So I'm trying to combine those feelings. Whether or not I do that successfully is kind of like another question. My boss design probably is a little bit lacking. I need to spend more time on that. But right now I'm just trying to touch up the game to make it look a little bit more presentable. How much experience do I have? I've been playing around with making games. I haven't made a commercial project before, but I've been making smaller projects like game jams and stuff like that for like the last 5 years. So I also make tutorials on how to make games in Godot. And I also make templates. I haven't updated them in a long time. It's something that I used to do. So yeah, I've been doing this for a while now. But so I just released the third-person shooter template on itch. Put that out. It's been available for like a year now, but like I hadn't released it as a standalone product before. So I did that. What are my thoughts on AI? We've just been talking about it. I don't think it's good. You know, I have concerns about it from like an employment perspective. I have concerns about it from like an ethical perspective. Obviously there's environmental concerns, you know, all that kind of stuff. Bosses are progression gates for the player and the coder. Yeah. Oh yeah. That's a really good way of looking at it. Yeah. It's both. It's like, it's not just me trying to make a boss, but it's also you trying to beat the boss. So yeah, I've been at this for a while, but I'm not a professional. So I'm still just like finding my way. And I thought it'd be a good chance. Like after all this time, like I was like, I need to make a commercial product, give it a go. And I chose the worst genre imaginable in the form of a Metroidvania, but I enjoy that game. You have to enjoy the genre of game that you're making, I think, in order to make a good version of that. Like I couldn't just turn around and be like, I'm going to make a sim game. I literally don't play those games. Why would I make one? I wouldn't know what to do. So realistically, if I wanted to make games that I like to play, it's like I have to make a Metroidvania, I have to make like Pokemon, I have to make like an immersive sim. Like I play a lot of role-playing games, I guess. All forms. It can be like a first-person shooter style one. I do like immersive sims. I really like that genre of game. Like Prey 2017 might be my favorite game of all time. It's so good. What the hell was that? Oh, healing. Okay. So the way that healing works in this game is that the health container, I believe, carries the request. I could be wrong on that. From a student perspective, there are no junior game dev posts. All have been snatched from AI. You need to have at least 3 years experience. Oh, wow, that sucks. Yeah, it's tough. I mean, learning's going to get harder because people are going to create like basically slop. Extends health container. Where are we doing the check for healing here? I thought I was in the health container. Maybe it's in the heal. Yeah, where is the check for healing? I actually don't remember. It's not in the heal because this... Maybe it's in on ground. No, but you can heal in the air. So maybe it's in motion. Get input. So we're taking left, right. Unhandled input. We were doing that, but like not anymore. I can delete that code. It's been commented out for a while now. Is it in the player then? Where do we handle the healing? I've forgotten. Initialize player. We've got hold, release, physics process. I don't think there's even input in this code. Input. On energy, power up complete. Okay, so I'm going to need to search the project because I actually don't remember. Finding files, project settings. Finding files? Find, actually I don't even know what the healing, project settings, input map, down slam to power up, heal. Okay, so it's just called heal. Okay. So project, or actually I could probably go here, search, find in files, find heal. It's actually going to be, is action pressed heal. How'd you learn how to code? Brute force. Oh, it's in the energy container. Oh, right. Okay, that makes sense. Does it make sense? I don't know. How did I learn how to code? Okay, so my journey is a long one, right? So like I've been, you know, when I was 5 years old, I wanted to learn how to make games and my dad tried to show me how to code in Pascal. And I was too young and I didn't get it and I kind of just gave up. That was my first exposure to that. And then I gave up for like 10 years. And then when I was like, I want to say 15, 16, I started to learn how to use RPG Maker back when it was RPG Maker 2003. And I sort of like, I used that for a while. Now that's not coding, but it is exposing you to the idea of coding and you can like do Ruby, I think it was in that. And so like, I got a little bit more exposure and then I started to learn Game Maker. And it must have been like in high school, back when Game Maker wasn't even, it's a completely different thing now, but like, and I was learning to use their code and I made like a Pac-Man style game. That was the first game I used code to like actually make a game. It was like 2006. It was 2006. I just followed like online tutorials. I think I just mostly read their materials because like YouTube wasn't really a thing back then, especially for education. It was just sort of starting out, you know? And then I sort of quit for a while. I quit for a really long time. And then I came back like literally 10 years later after I finished my degree and my master's. And I was like, okay, now I have some more free time. I need to learn how to code because AI is going to come and it's going to steal my job. And I need to like understand how to use that. Even though now that AI is here, I actually actively refuse to use it. So, you know, whatever. But that was my motivation for learning how to code at the time. And I learned how to like use C# to make like a mobile app. There was like a Windows had like a free, Microsoft had like a free course that you could use to make like apps for their phones. And I just used that to learn how to do that with like a Windows Phone app. Even though I didn't even use a Windows Phone, it was just free. So I just used that. And then I thought, you know, I used to like making games. I'll make a game and I'll learn how to code doing that. And so I learned how to use Unity. I bought like a gamedev.tv course on Udemy for like $10. That was Unreal, Unity, and Blender. And I did the Blender course. I did the Unity course. I've touched on the Unreal course, but I never actually finished it. And that's how I really got into it. And then And then I switched to Godot because Godot is like better, and that's when it really clicked for me. So it was just like a really long journey of continuously like plodding along for my entire life. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't just like a single moment where I sat down and decided I'm going to learn this. It was just like a series of like moments where I sort of had to go until I eventually got it. So like obviously not a super efficient path, but it's just, and everyone's going to have their own path to like learn how to do this. It's just, for me, it was just a slow, gradual build up until I was 30 years old and I got it. You know what I mean? Your company should have a policy document for LLMs, GAN agentic AI. I helped my mum write hers at work. Shadow AI is a big one. I don't think I have the influence at my place of employment to do that, but it's a good point. I might write one up. I haven't actually founded a company for this yet. I do have an ABM, but it's under a sole trader name. So at least how that works in Australia is like, I'm not a company, I'm just a business, an owner business. So it's just registered under my name. But if I do make a company, I was like, I should call it Organic Pixels and release games under that. Or maybe make a publisher and then release it. It'll be like Organic Pixels Chef Games. Okay, healing. It's in the energy. Aussie Pixels. Aussie Peels? Okay, so for some, I mean, it makes sense. For this to be in the energy container, it's the first place that you check if you want to heal. Might be like a sole proprietorship here in the States. Yeah, I guess that could be it. It's like, I didn't have to pay any money to do it. You just register and it's like $100 and they give you your ABN, which is your business number. Do I have a monster coming? Hello. Microphone. The branch manager is in. Checking on the progress. She wants to know what we're up to. Be careful if you use it at work. If you say you are not, what can happen is if your performance metrics will skyrocket, they will lock you out of using AI. It'll be evident that you are token money. That's really funny. Yeah. So you've got a similar path to me. It's just not as far along. I'm mostly done with my first horror game in Godot, but I've tried everything from 3D games to jQuery browser. Until my 30s, it clicked. Yeah. I think it's a fun, it's probably normal, right? Like people, this is a passion for me. Like I've always been into games. So my camera is like too tall. There's always been something that I've wanted to do. It's tough to reach. And so, yeah, you just sort of like, you keep trying until you eventually get it. It's different for everybody. Recently, Pixel Cross Punk, welcome. Recently, I found a model on Itch I liked. It was a security camera. Oh, was it my security camera? Is that what you're referring to? I just had my Itch open. Where is it? Do I still have it, or is it unlisted now? It is yours. I guess it's not. It's probably not on my page. You can choose what to keep on this. I just have the CRT here. I need to redo these. I really want to redo like the digital camera. It's actually so much easier to do photo taking and screenshots in Godot now than it was back in Godot 3. You know, I like sat down and I was like, oh, I could like for content, like I could make that again. Fan on TikTok. Oh, nice. Welcome. I don't post much to TikTok. I've been trying, but it always falls flat. What are your recommendations for making a portfolio to showcase their games on websites? But most studios ask for experience like in pipeline optimizations. I wouldn't have advice for that because I've never worked in like professional game development and I've never tried to. Actually, you know what? I did submit one resume because like there was a company that was looking specifically for Godot developers, and I was like, I'll have a crack. And you know what? It was so funny. I submitted that and I was like, in the cover letter, it's like, yeah, I'm an accountant, but like I've been using Godot for like 5 years and I teach Godot. So like, I feel like I'd be good for like this role kind of thing. They called me back and they're like, hey, do you want to come and do our finance for us? I was like, bro, I don't want to be an accountant. I didn't apply to be an accountant. I applied to do game development. But I do have like a good resume for like accounting, I guess. Fine. I don't think I was like, yeah, nah, I'm pretty good with my job. Like I have really, really good flexibility, like working flexibility. So like it's hard for me to like entertain other employment opportunities realistically. So I was like, nah. They're like, yeah, you'd have to come to Brisbane, which is like an hour away. Gold, yeah. It was pretty funny. It was a very funny conversation. I like one time, there was one other time as well where the guy that recruited me for my current job, he went to go work for Gamesoft. Is it Gamesoft? It's a Brisbane-based developer. They make Asphalt, you know, the Android racing game. And he went there, Gameloft. Is it Game Asphalt? Gameloft sounds right. Yeah. Yeah, it is Gameloft. Yeah, they have an office in Brisbane, and he actually moved there, like from the current place that I work at. Like he was an internal recruiter. And then I was like, dude, hook me up. You know, I sent him a message on it, not on Instagram, on LinkedIn. And I was like, help me get an in. But he was like, no. Rejected. He's like, they don't use Godot. They use Unreal. And I was like, so? I'll have a crack. But yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, if you're like creating a portfolio, I would just make games. Like you just have to make them, put them on itch, and then like that's about the best you can do, right? Their games will like knock off GTA NFS games. Like Gangster Vegas was an open world and had open story mode. Was it good though? It's probably soul crushing to work for AAA. It's soul crushing to just work for big companies. Like at the end of the day, it probably doesn't matter what you do. Okay, yeah, we're chatting too much. Energy container. Unhandled input. Your heal request comes from the energy. Now, why does it come from the energy? Because it's the first thing that matters when you want to heal. Do you have enough energy? I suppose it could make more sense to like put this on the player character node because it has access to both of those things and it can override the state machine, which is what it needs to do. But at least how I remember this being set up is that, you know, it goes from the energy container checks, and then it goes to the health container. So it checks that you've got enough energy, and then it goes to the health container, checks that you've got enough if you're not max health, and then it goes to the state machine. I have hired before and sat on the process. If you can show 3 games that are at least 12 months old with metrics of you patching, it would get you an interview stage 2. There you go. So yeah, just make games, maintain games. Don't abandon them, I guess, is the other piece of advice. Yeah, it's actually a really valid point because it's something that I've been wondering about now that I'm working on this is like, how do you update? I've never tried before. I've never had to. Yeah, see? Not the only one. Like, I know what it means, but like, I've never actually had to do it. You update the game over time, yeah. Okay, so, or players found. Unhandled input, heal request goes off, and if you release the button, it stops healing. This is what I want to, I want to stop this, right? So, because I want it to basically do a build up, I want to change it. And in order to do that, I'm going to need to probably change the way that this is even working. So maybe it will make more sense for it to go into the player character, because what I'm going to need to do is say that, like, say we are doing like a heal, like Silksong style. So if you don't know, in Silksong, basically, excuse me, you press the button and you go into a heal state if you have enough energy, or like Silk, I think it's called in that game. And your player will go into an animation, and at the end of the animation, you get the heal. And there's a risk. So if you take damage during that animation, you don't get the heal and you lose the energy. It's really punishing. I don't know if I want to be that cruel, but you know, I think it feels better than what I'm doing right now. This feels really unimpactful. A lot of Metroidvanias don't have healing mechanics. I don't like that. I actually find it really annoying when you're continuously looking around for a heal spot. It's not fun. I want to be like, a big part of the game is exploration. I want to be able to do that. So like, I think bare minimum, you have to do it like Metroid style, where you just pick up health from the enemy, or you generate energy like you do in Hollow Knight and Silksong. So I think I'm just going to copy from the best. It's all right. So, okay. So yeah. So I'm just trying to, okay. So heal request gets emitted. What is heal request going to? Signals. Change energy use completed. Heal requested. Go to method. Player health container, right? So the heal request goes to that. And if you have max health, then it returns out. And if it does, then it says, yes, you can go to the next stage. And then that gets heal request granted emit, goes to the energy. It goes back to the energy. So they signal out to each other. Okay. That makes sense. And then you get the start healing function, which just says energy use requested. Okay. So if we just hijack into this, we can still do this check. We can signal between each other. And we can say that once this energy container says yes, you can heal. You don't have full health. We can signal off to the state machine, and then we can get into the heal state. Basically, we just skip that bit, because right now, energy use request, I actually don't think when start healing, energy use requested this is bad, right? Because energy use, like, I don't know why. What is this signal? I don't like this at all. Like, why is this just emitting an energy use in the energy container? Energy use requested. It goes to the player state machine, and it goes to the heal state. Yeah, that's just not good. So I'm glad we're changing this, because that's really weird. So I'm going to remove this function for start healing, and also stop healing, honestly. But actually, okay. First of all, let's just comment these out. All right. And then function not found, stop healing. We actually don't need this. I think I'm fine for it to be here, because at the end of the day, like, this is where you're going to check. We don't even need to do this. Healing is a variable that we have 2 energy use signals: requested and completed. Energy changed, heal requested is fine. Healing is a variable we can delete. Refactor time, stop healing, start healing. On heal begins, true. When did that get called? that probably comes from this state machine, I'm guessing. Heal begins. Okay, yeah, easy. Okay, so if we're going to redo this, basically what we want to do is we still do the check request. We have enough energy when we want to heal. If current energy is less than 0, okay, we do need a minimum, right? Because if we're going to do like a request to just do like a full heal, like say we're going to do 3 bars, then we need to do probably, we have 50 energy for the max, I think, when you start. Check that. Okay, so I've changed it to 60 in the inspector, so I'm going to change it to that here. Just so it's a little bit more readable. The use costs, I'm going to just go through and update these variables so that it's just, so that when I'm looking at the code, I'm reflecting on actual variables. Value per hit. Okay, so we have max energy and we're saying 15 per hit. Okay, energy per hit. You get two energy points back when you make a successful hit on an enemy. And oh, you know, I should have an animation for that. Anyway, I'll think about that later. Maybe I should put it to do at the top here. Animate. To do animate this. Okay. So we'll do energy per hit. Yes, current energy 0. Okay. Use cost 15. So we'll use this. Where else are we using this? So that's the question. We're not using it at all. Good. So how do we go about this? Because that's not clear either. Like we need to set like the heal. So if we're checking, so that's the issue with like checking this. Current energy needs to be above a certain threshold when you press heal. But if you're doing it in the energy container, then the energy container is the one that is implicitly controlling how much energy is required to heal. Whereas like, I feel like that probably doesn't make sense. Like this probably needs to go, at least in the player controller. If that makes sense. Like, let's just be honest about it, because I don't think the energy container just needs to control when you get back energy and when energy is consumed. So we've got like set max energy, right? We've got set energy. So like, you know, just setting the current energy to be whatever number we want it to be. We have a max variable. These are normally just set on initialization, right? And when we make a successful hit, we add energy from hit. And when we pick up like this is like when you heal, you get, not when you heal, sorry. This is like when you pick up a power up or something like that, it just heals, just gives you full energy or whatever. So, and then we've got, yeah, we're emitting out these, just go to the UI. It's not a big deal. So we've got add energy from hit, use energy, request energy. This is the function, right? So we call request energy. So if we put this on the player character, we call request energy. If it returns true, then we can use that amount of energy. There's 2 checks we probably need to do. The first one makes sense. Do we have full health? If we have full health, just ignore this request. Second one, do we have enough energy to do this? And then we set that variable probably in the player character, and then the rest is all just like defunct. And you don't have healing code in the energy controller, right? The energy controller just controls the way that your energy works. And then we can expand out from there. Right, just does one thing, and that's how it should be. So like, I'm happy with this change. I deleted that. I'll leave that code just in case I feel like it's needs to go back. I don't know about these signals. We'll see. We've got energy change. Okay, everything happy, right? So then we go back to the player. The player is a big piece of code. I mean, I don't know. Obviously there's a lot for the initialization, connecting signals and stuff like that. But joined your Discord. I'm mostly in Unity, but it's still nice to join communities. Hell yeah, dude. Welcome. So yeah, I reckon we go for an input request. We worked out that there isn't even any input request here, which is fine because this is like an override. So it is something that can interrupt what you're doing as a state. We do already have like state override. Remove state. Okay, we probably are calling state override. State override is a function you can call. State machine override state idle, right? So this is something that we, you know, when you get a power up, basically puts you into the idle state. After you're finished, you know, it puts you back into the idle state. Because there's something that needs to be controlling that. And then when you die, obviously, you get put in the death state, although that comes from the reliquify. Anyway, the point is, it makes sense. So we put this probably underneath ready. I believe that's the correct order. So we can go func, unhandled input, right? And then we can do like if input event, no, it's just event dot is action pressed, and it's heal, and then we'll create a function called what do you call it? I guess we can just call heal. Like, that's fine. That's fine. Can't be more clear than that. Okay. And this is good because in a way we can actually go to the player data and we can add a variable here for the player data for how much you can heal. Like, there needs to be two variables. I had to use Unity for decades. Engines come and go over time. You end up knowing a few. Yeah, that's a good point. Like, it's kind of crazy, like, especially in the last 10 years, how much like homogeneity, everything's the same now. You know, it used to be like things would pop up all the time and then like drop off. And now it's just like, yeah, Unity, Unreal, and Godot's coming up. But GameMaker's been around forever as well. So we can set up like a heal cost. That's actually like in terms of energy. So I'll put it under max energy. Heal energy required. The music that I'm playing is from Game Chops. So shout out to Game Chops. It's a great tool if you want to play music on stream and have it be, number one, not AI, and also free from claim. Although you do still sometimes get claims. My streams are non-monetized anyway, so it's not really important to me. I could play commercial music, I think, and it wouldn't really change much, but I just use this because it's nice and chill. Okay, so heal energy, if max energy is 60, do we just say that it costs like 40? Like, make it expensive. Let's just try that. And this is good now because it can actually be upgraded. It can be changed. So equals, what did I say, 40? These are all floats. They should have leading zeros. It's probably not that important. That's actually an int. Okay. Okay, so now I can actually go to the player data and check for health, heal energy required. Let's come down to the bottom of this. So we can say, okay, do we have access to the health container here? We got player data, player health container, and we do have access to both, so that's good. So we can say player, so the first thing to check, I think, is if player health container dot health. I actually don't know what the number is, what the variable is called for that. Check. Guess we just check. I guess we popped it out by accident. Really slow. I don't know why it's so slow on Windows. Maybe it's my Windows. Health container. Heal rate. Current health? Is it not exposed? That probably makes sense. current health. Okay, no, it's not. Dot current health is equal to max health. Should just create a variable for that. M for max health, then return. If energy container dot current energy is less than oh wait, there's a function for that, right? If check energy, use energy, current energy, set energy. Is it use energy? I forget my API. Use energy, no. Request energy, of course. Request energy. Is that spelt wrong? It is. This is like, if not, this needs to return false. Okay, so return out of those two, it doesn't do anything. But if those two are true, then we want to go into request energy requires you to put in a number, and this is where we go player data dot energy heal. What is it? What did I say? Oh God, I'm forgetting everything. Energy bits required, heal energy required. This is a question I really, really wanted to ask. When making games, how do you brainstorm the idea or theme for it? Like when I'm in a brainstorm session, I get nothing. I think for me, this idea is pretty easy. I've been wanting to make a game about this kind of thing for a while. I mean, the story is pretty loose. It's kind of like, yeah, we're just going to the center of the earth. And it's like a scientific facility where everything's going wrong and like literal demons are coming out of the center of the earth. Okay, that is like what you're trying to stop. But like it's an idea that I've wanted to make for a while, especially around like the character and what he is. Although that's like going to be pretty like, I guess the word is like, I'm not going to directly say anything. It's just like in my head mostly. I'm just going to allude to that maybe. But like in terms of like wanting to make a Metroidvania or like I wanted to make an immersive sim. I've got like a couple of different ideas about it, but it's mostly story related because I like story games. But I'm not much of a writer, you know what I mean? So Metroidvania actually works pretty well. Like I'm not a particularly good writer, so I can tell a story without actually telling a story. You know what I mean? We'll see. But yeah, brainstorming is really hard. I actually want to do a couple more game jams, just to like get back into the habit. Cause like I took a really long break from making games for like a year. Like I think the last game I made, I think I still got it open. Oh, you know what? It was, I made I didn't even make a game. I made a template. I made a project, like a demo of a strategy game. And that was last year. And then until then, I haven't really worked on anything until I started this. And so it was like a 6-month gap between that. And I haven't really been like making games. Like it's just like demos essentially. Which is completely different because it's like you're just like, yeah, I can make a turn-based strategy game in Godot with 3D. I know how to do that now, but there's no story. Any game jams? I know GMTK is coming up. GMTK is a big one. I really like GMTK. You can always go to itch.io, not the dashboard. Right? You go here and you go jams. Right? John McCormick has a page of idea generation and making those ideas survive to be anti-fragile. It's the starting block for ideation. Oh, interesting. So you've got GMT Game Jam 2026. That's coming up in 18 days. You've got Brackies, which starts in a month. That's a 7-day game jam if you need a bit more time. You got Kenny Jam 2026. Starts in 13 days. GBA, make a Game Boy Advance game. I don't even know how you do that. That sounds awesome. You've got the Game Boy. I was saying that I wanted to make a Game Boy game. Here, I should join this jam. It says Game Boy style game. I actually want to make a Game Boy game with the Game Boy SDK and then put it on hardware, which is a little bit more involved. But like these actually appeal to me quite a lot because I've been thinking about these. Full scale GBA game jam. they have, like, in order to head over to gbadev.net for useful links and resources. See, they're giving you like a cart dumper, GB operator. See, that's sick. There's a video, DSBAKV. Oh yeah, links don't work on YouTube for some reason. Is that just YouTube? /watch? Question V? Equals? That the video isn't what? It added stuff to it. Search for. Oh, John McCormack. Oh, that's interesting how you can do that. I didn't know. Huh. I think I can post links. Here, I'll post it. For the other guy. John McCormack's a bit of a legend in the space, right? So it is in the queue. Save. What did he make? I'm forgetting all of a sudden. John Carmack, not Cormac. Wolfenstein. Commander Keen! I love that game when I was a kid. Shout out. Oh, he co-founded id Software, so he's the other guy. Was it John Ramiro is the other guy? I follow him on X. Yeah, okay. He's a legend. Okay. Right, so we've got heal. So we've got energy if energy required. Carmack Ramiro. I feel like, I don't know what Cormac has done recently, but I feel like Ramiro hasn't really done much lately. Maybe I'm wrong about that. But yeah, in the 90s, he was like, he was the guy. All right, so you've made it to here. Now you can heal. So we can go state override heal, state machine dot. They're both very talented and capable. Hell yeah. At least from what I've seen, like, because I don't follow them much on social media. I've just started like following people on Twitter, like game developers and stuff. And from what I can see, he seems like a really nice guy. But yeah, game, state machine. But I should watch more talks about that kind of stuff because it's important to like get your head around how these people like are some of the best creators of all time. So state machine dot state override. No, it's okay. That's the whole point of my stream is like distract me a little bit while I do this. Otherwise, I'm just gonna go and watch like, I'll be watching like Jujutsu Kaisen on the side, or I'll be like scrolling. I just distract myself otherwise. But this is kind of fun because you get to interact with people. I guess we go heal. I think it's just called heal, right? Now, this is the important part. I think player data is globally accessible. So like I can take this heal energy and I can go to heal. So now we go into the heal state when we press heal. We can make it if our health container is equal to full, then obviously we get out. If we don't have enough energy, we don't do this. And 40 is a pretty big number. But you're going to heal like 3 bars of health or something like that. So now we go to the heal state. Now the heal state doesn't actually do anything at the moment. There was a bunch of stuff here. And maybe some of this can come back. So basically there was like a duration, right? So there was a heal duration, and this probably needs to be put into the state, not the state, the data, right? The heal completed. That's probably fine to be back. So basically when we begin, we playing the damage animation because it's just placeholder. JJK's peak. I watched it as well. I wish that they would improve the strength levels. Like Megumi has like 10 Shadow CT, but he can't be in his prime because he doesn't have enough curse energy. Yeah, I don't know. Like it's funny because I was really into it like back when season 2 was airing, but like I've just been sort of making my way through season 3. I don't like I read the manga as well. Manga, I guess if I say it properly, not like an Australian. And both with the manga and with the anime, it's like I get to the what are you know, when they're in the, like they're doing the PUBG style thing. It's less interesting to me, but the anime is helping me get through it because some of the fights are really sick. I even forget the name. That's how I just it didn't appeal to me as much as the other story. Like season 2 was so good. It's hard to top. Okay, what are we doing here? So data duration, heal duration. Right, so we did have heal duration. I don't know if that's still there. And then we go into the damage, and then there's a process duration minus. Okay, so this gets set to be the heal duration. And then heal successful, not emit. If heal duration and heal completed is equal to false, heal completed equals true. So I've already had this before, so you go to idle if you're on the floor. If you're not, you go to fall. So I reckon if you've read the manga, then you know that Sukuna did master the shadow technique because he had more cursed energy. Like if they removed CT, every technique would be so lovely, skill-based and techie. Yeah. I guess they ran out of... I mean, yeah, you have to have something in the machine to like make it so the players, or not the players, but like the characters don't always, you know, win. I don't know. Like, I guess it's just a writing mechanic. Like if you add something where it's like you can run out of it, oh, you're out of cursed energy. I was going to win, but suddenly I'm out of cursed energy. I don't know. It was a couple of years ago that I read that. Have I seen Demon Slayer? Yes, but I got sick of it. I watched up until the sister got out of her box in the sun and didn't die. And I was like, this is dumb. And I quit. Like, if his sister's fine, then why does he need to go kill the demon guy? Michael Jackson demon. You should have seen the movie that came out. I haven't watched it yet. Yeah, that's where I stopped. I literally was just like, I don't know about this. Also, like, it's kind of a weird show, and like the pacing was really bad. Okay, I think I'll just bring this back, right? Heal successful dot emit. That is something we still want. I don't know about heal begins emit. Like maybe we just change that. We'll comment it out. And we'll bring back signal heal successful. Right, and then we'll emit that signal. So basically, well, this doesn't make any sense to me. Like, why are we emitting it here? We should be just emitting, basically, if it's completed, heal completed equals true, and then John McCormack copied heal completed dot emit. Right, the sister was fine because she was an evolved demon. Right, yeah. And she's the key for Murozan Jackson to adapt to something. Oh, right. So he needs her. Right. That makes sense. Okay. I'm back on board. Yeah. The pacing. And also, like, I feel like it was one of those ones where there wasn't much, like... Old Mate was always successful. I forget his name. I'm sorry. I'm really bad at remembering stuff. The main character never really lost. He always, like, summons the energy in the end. What have I watched? I was watching Freerun. Freerun was great. I'm still trying to get through One Piece. I'm up to... I just finished Fishman Island. But I haven't watched that in a bit. JJK is better because there's a sense that it can well, so many people have died in JJK. I felt so bad. Like, that's why season 2 was so good. Because it was just like, yeah, like that girl that's been a part of the group. I forget her name. Since like the start of the series just get like touched on the face by that dude and just her head explodes. Amazing. Amazing. Yeah, you need that, I think, in your show. If it's about like high stakes combat, it needs to be like high stakes. Spoiler, she's alive. Okay. I mean, a lot of people, yeah, still were more alive than I realized. Even the girl that became like super strong and killed her entire family. I forget her name as well. I forget all their names. I thought they were both dead, but they somehow survived. Marky, yeah, that's it. Also, that the episode where she kills like everybody it was so peak, actually. In the manga, that didn't feel as impactful. I don't know. Okay, so now we're doing this. We're counting down, and okay, so the first things first, we need to probably go back to heal completed false. This enter is probably better, so I changed all of this. This was how it was to begin with, and then I was like, nah, let's do something different. But now I'm going back to it. So heal completed equals false, duration equals heal duration. I don't know if that still exists. It does. So this is in the, okay, this is a bit spread out. The heal duration is 1 second, which seems a bit too quick, but what's the time in my area? It is 9 a.m. I need to like get off soon. I have to go start my day. And I think it's a nice day from the looks of it. My curtains are closed because it controls the light, but it is blue skies. A little bit blown out, but that's okay. And turn down the ISO on this. There we go. It's 4 a.m. I'm in uni, even in summer. 4 a.m, dude. You could get some sleep. It's important. So, do I have access to the regular data in the state machine? It might be fine if it's there. This is state data, player data. Oh, I guess we'll just leave it there. 1 second? Feels too short. Let's make it 2. Let's be cruel. Okay. 2 seconds means I need to animate way more. But yeah, we'll go with that. Heal duration, right? And then you set that, you count down when it's true. You heal successful emit. Now this is a tricky bit because we need to probably go back to the player character since we started there. So we go heal successful emit, and we'll go to the heal, right? History, signal, heal successful, and we'll emit this back to the player. Do you think GD script should have a private access modifier? I don't really know what you mean, but I think I know what you mean, but I don't know for sure. I'm not much of a coder. Energy required. Now I also need to define how much energy you get back when you successfully heal. So probably heal. We say like export bar heal amount. Float. You mean like private variables? Because we don't have those, right? I mean, isn't that just like a non-exported variable? I don't know. Let's just say 50 for now. You get back 50% of your health. Should probably be more. Should probably be like 60. So you spend 40 energy for 60% of your 60 health. We could make it a percentage, but I'm just gonna make it 60. They're broken up into 20 blocks, I think. And we'll go with that. So we submit back to that. We come back here. And then now we have this. I believe there is a function in our health container to actually do this. Add health here. yeah, kind of like private functions and variables. Like, I mean, yeah, I don't know. I don't know because I basically know most of my coding experience as someone who like knows how to code is in GDScript. Like I learned with C#, but you know, I really cut my teeth when I started coding in Godot. So like, I don't really understand the implications because I don't use much outside of Godot. But I'm sure like people smarter than me could tell me why that's helpful. Sometimes I just need a couple of bonks on the head. Be like, yeah, learn how to, like I was not sold on static typing for a really long time. And now that I use it, it's all I use. We really don't need it. Okay. I don't even know what benefit there would be. Because we've got add health here. I don't know where that goes. Health food emit. Where you can't access them from outside the class rather than being able to access them from anywhere. Ah, I see. Yeah. Yes. Right. So I mean, here's a good example of this, right? Like I have got here on heal successful. I am checking the current health and the max health, right? Maybe if that made them private, I wouldn't be able to see that. And it would throw an error here if I did. Or I tried to change it or something like that, which I'm about to do here on health respect. I'm going to say health container dot add health. And is that different from like adding max health? I don't know. Oh, this is player health container. We've got the class. I want the add health, and it's going to be player data. I kind of see shit. Down. Player data dot health heal required heal amount. That is correct variable. Okay, makes sense. Okay, and we're going back to the idle state via the health thingo. The health state knows to send you back. You don't have to do anything here, so we just add health. We need to consume the energy. That's something we haven't done here. Maybe I'll add that in a second. Let's just make sure the loop is actually working and we can heal ourselves. So yeah, really that should be it, unless I kind of skipped over the health container, the health state, and what it does. So if I'm looking at this, heal successful emit. So we're basically just going to count down and then just go back to the player controller and say, yeah, we were successful with that. What we aren't doing is if we take damage, we need to control that somehow. So, so right now you can just heal through damage, which is probably not ideal, but let's just test this loop. For me, it's like if I have a class that needs internal data, like no other class should be able to see or modify. It'd be nice to have at private. If it's open source, submit a ticket. I'm sure there's a ticket. There's got to be a ticket for that. Okay, let's just test this loop and then I can finish up. It's not loading. Oh, it's just slow. Okay, so we have to take some damage. Good thing there's some things over here that we can take a hit on. How much did I say it was gonna? I said it cost. Oh man, I gotta. Do I have an override to get like maximum energy? I need to do that. I don't think I have enough energy. More energy, more energy. Okay, I've got max energy now. Okay, let's see. Okay, I mean, yeah, we didn't use energy, but we healed. So we stayed stationary for 2 seconds and then healed. Okay, so I think that's working. Is we need to do the animations and effects because it's like it doesn't have any impact. So let's go back to the player. So here, yeah, it's funny. I went around looking for energy and then like didn't actually. We still needed the energy. It didn't take it, but we still needed to like do it, right? So if you make it to this point, you need to call energy container dot use energy. Is there a function? There are multiple PRs for adding private or private keyword. Yeah, well, maybe we'll get it. Use energy. Okay, there you go. Amount? Player data.heal energy required. Now, I don't know, since this was based on like a continuous use, so it wants delta, but like, I don't know, like just pass in 1 for a second. What does this do? Okay, so current energy equals max energy minus used, delta. Energy changed, current energy used emit delta. I'm not really sure what that did. This was called every, what are we doing with that? Energy used? Player health container, go to method. Oh, so this was actually like, yeah, right. So this was how it would loop around to heal. So we delete this, and then delete the use of, we don't need that. So it's just a flat function there, so we can save that. And then there's an error here for this, which is fine because... And then the only question I have now is I want a developer override, dev power weapon, add a new action, dev max energy. Make it F3. I need to like Google how to like remove these in the final project. Okay, I'm pretty happy with how things are moving, so let's just remove that. So under here, under unhandled input, we're just going to say if event dot is action pressed dev max energy, then we're going to say set energy to be max energy. Easy. Okay, so now I should be able to just instantly give myself max energy, so I can test this out without having to grind up the energy container, current ability cost. Where is this? Ability. Okay, so it wanted to, okay, you no longer have to pass through 0 on there. There you go. Couple of other errors. Okay. Take some damage. All right, so heal. Yep, I mean, it works. We just need to have like, I think 2 seconds is probably too long. We need to work on that. Maybe go back to 1 second. And then, yeah, I mean, we just need to animate that. We always have needed to animate that, regardless of how it was done. The other thing as well, yeah, we don't have damage. So that we'll do that on Monday. And I'll try to animate it over the weekend. We'll see. Player data. Yeah, the duration feels a bit long. Wait, no, that's in state data. Heal duration? Let's just make it like 1.2 seconds. I do still have to animate it, so I should be careful. It's going to be like him putting a battery into his head. Take damage straight away. Cool. And I'm assuming that if I take damage while I try to heal, nothing happens. Let's see if I can create that via one of these. Yeah, nothing. You just take damage and then you still heal. Okay. Now we know. Thank you all for hanging out. I really appreciate it. like and subscribe. I'll be back on Monday. I'll try to animate. It's gonna be a lot of animation. Blech. Artwork. Not fun. Alright guys, have a good weekend.